We are streaming live, and we're here. We got my wonderful brother all the way from Cali, and we got the apostle hands, and we got the BB over here hanging out with us tonight. We're excited. We're missing my dad. But he's still watching. I know he's somewhere, his eyeballs watching and looking somewhere. But anyway, we wanted to come in tonight and do this special segment on the part 2 of raising us kids. And we thought that would be very important to get kind of more I don't know what you want to call it, a more in-depth perspective on my mom's perspective on raising us, and kind of just getting her eye on her whole vision on raising us. And we wanted to kind of just share that with you. So we thank you for just hanging out with us, joining us today. And we're going to just kind of throw some questions at her and see what happens. And I don't think we needed the tissues. And the good thing is we don't have to go out in a timeout or spankings or none of that. So this is
as they say in the business world, we're going to get real granular.
Granular.
Granular, yes.
I got to break that down.
Granular. Like granulated sugar, granular, get real.
Oh, yeah. Okay, real fine.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my brother that got out here in corporate America, out here with all these intelligent people, and he's just using all these words, and I find myself with my Post-it, and I have to write.
Yeah, I'm going to write them down.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Just speak English.
Okay. The solid herb, the granulars. Okay.
Yeah, saw the earth.
Right.
Saw the earth. See, you got it. See?
Yeah. Okay. You talking about sugar, but I'm talking about the salt. Okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. We don't want to be the sugar of the earth. We don't want to be the sugar of the earth.
No. No sugar.
No sweet and low. We don't want stevia either.
It's zero calories though. But anyways.
No trivia either.
No trivia.
No.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So if you guys are on, do me a favor. I normally don't do this, but if you guys are on, just say hello. Let me know that you guys are tuning in. Say hi, how you doing? We appreciate you taking out the time. The weather is bad here in Chicago. And so we're here. I'm just glad to be alive. I refuse to complain because it's a blessing to be in the land of the living.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. 2 things. Thank you so much for subscribing to iamtricab.com. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting and purchasing shirts. Real quick, an important note, you guys need to know this. We've been having some issues with our vendor. When you purchase a shirt, that is when I send it out to production. Unfortunately, at the time, we don't have any product on hand due to production. It's just been real. Yeah. So with that being said, when you order, that's when we send it out. So things have been kind of fickle. So pray for us. We're doing very well. However, COVID has caused a lot of standstill for a lot of our vendors that we deal with. So we appreciate your patience. I do not move this slow on a regular. Trust me. So we appreciate your purchase. We appreciate your constant contributions and everything that you do in supporting the brand. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so here we go. Let's go. Who's running up? Who's going first?
Well, this is kind of a special thing for Mom to kind of share her stories. So you guys always hear the stories about us kind of how our mom was real strict on us, and yelling like Martin's mom and all that other stuff. But you guys don't really understand how much attention our mom gave us. And the reason why we are and how the way we are is because of what direction she was giving us and why that direction was given. She always would, even though she was acting like Mama's Martin, but Mama's Martin's mother, she was actually also giving us extremely important life lessons, and she would actually explain to us processes and timelines. And so we wanted to kind of give her the opportunity to kind of discuss her thought process of raising kids that were in church, and the issues that we had and the reason why she was so tough on us. For those that don't know, I actually was in handicap school growing up. So
Yeah.
my mom will talk about that and talk about some of my developmental challenges that I had growing up. She will also talk about what Trika's issues were as well, and why she moved us in the direction that she wanted us to move because she did not want us to be labeled. So, Mom, go for it.
Okay. Well, there was always a purpose in mind, and there's always a reason for discipline in anybody's life to produce a product. Time always tells the purpose, and then the purpose produces the product. And then that product in my life has been my children. And so God would always give me the particular type of time and a way to help orchestrate my children's personalities. And God can only give you the type of tool to channel each and every individual child's personality. As far as Jay was always challenged with his body as well as Trika, but Jay was 2 months premature, which caused me to give birth to him 2 months prior to what he was supposed to have been born. And I had a bad pregnancy with Jay. My mom lost her job just before, well, should I say just in time for me to be having to be able to be in the bed, the doctor's orders. And so my mom had lost her job right that same, I think it was 2 days before the doctor took me off my feet. And so my mom, she waited on me hand and foot. Kudos to my mom. So that was 6 months. And then after all of that, Jay came 2 months prior to the day. And then when Jay was born, I had to do it at home time. That whole time, I had to move into my mom's house. And when Jay
Also, I was a twin. Don't forget that I was a twin.
Yeah, you were a twin. And I lost one child and then kept the other child, which was Jay. Jay hadn't been born yet, but I lost the other baby. And then when Jay did finally was birthed, when he did come into the world at Ingalls Hospital, the doctors and everything told me that it would be best for him to go to a handicap a baby school, and I didn't know they had such a thing. But anyway, to make a long story short, the bus would pick him up. I think he was like 3 or 4 months old, and the bus would come and pick him up. And that was kind of challenging for me to be able to see my child, my baby, be wrapped up, and then the nurse come in and take him and bus him off to school. And then we had to buy 2 sets of Pampers, one for the house and one for the school. That was kind of expensive, but because they wanted him to go to school because Jay had symptoms of MS. He could not roll. He couldn't crawl. He couldn't He scooted. Yeah. He couldn't do a lot of things that regular babies could do as the months kind of progressed in his age. And so he was quite challenged. And then as time went on, he had a speech impediment. He couldn't talk very well, which challenged him to go to another handicapped school in the district there, the area where we lived. In that school, he was also challenged with he was behind with other challenges there.
So he had speech therapy, occupational therapy,
Yeah.
physical therapy, and was one more, but those are the ones that I remember. I was young, but I remember that.
Yeah, because they sent a lot of stuff home, and you would help me with his speech therapy. We had like flashcards. The teacher would send flashcards home with him, and then I would kind of help him with his speech, try to help him get that tongue thrust. That was one of the challenges he had, because his tongue would not cooperate with him quite good. But one thing that I was challenged with as a mother is that they wanted to label him as special needs. And I would not let them label my child. I would not let them label my African-American boy. I'm gonna put it just like that. Due to the fact that I saw progress. I did my homework as a mother, and so I wanted them to do their homework too. So then what happened was, he was only supposed to stay in there a couple of years. So as time went on, he got a little older, and they wanted to keep him in there past his years. And I told them, no, you're going to progress him to kindergarten, and he's going to go to the district kindergarten school as scheduled, and you're going to bus him there. If not, I will take this to the superintendent's office. And so that was a challenge for me, but I faced the challenge and I did so. So mothers, you have to not allow anybody to label your children. I don't care what color they are. Do not allow them to label your child. I don't care if they do have challenges in their life. And so that was a issue there. So I had to go against the principal, the teacher, and the superintendent for them not to label Jay as handicapped. So they had to disregard all of that and pass him on. Otherwise, he would have been in a special needs school still at 8 years old, which, you know, that's almost second grade. So you know, you have to be you have to persevere and be aware.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't let things just be handed over to the school district per se.
Right.
You got to do your job as a mother, you know, as a parent, or however you want to put it, or a guardian. You got to be determined that your child will progress as it needs to, and especially if you got God in your life. God is the healer. But you do your homework in God, and both of those put together, that child can go on. As you can see, Jay's working for a Fortune 500 company today. Ain't no special needs in him nowhere.
Yeah, he's special needs though. Y'all just don't know it.
Well, also too.
Needs there. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, also too, when they sent me over to the other school, I was the only kid that can read in that kindergarten class.
Okay.
Remember?
Yes, I do.
They would have me read to the children. But that's people. That is what the discipline that we're talking about. My mom put in the work for me to learn how to read at home. She not allowed the teachers to teach me how to read. She taught me how to read.
Yes.
And they wanted to keep me back.
Yeah.
But by the time I got to kindergarten, I was reading full books.
Yes.
I was reading to the other children to put them to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, by the time y'all was 5 years old, and here's another thing. We went to a certain two libraries where they didn't want us to go in there, but I took you in there anyway. back in the day. 2 libraries where they didn't want me to take you in there, but I took you in there and I demanded library cards for both of y'all because our community didn't have a library. But I took you in there and I demanded some library cards for you. Both of you guys were young children. And I asked for library cards. So you had library cards as young as 5 years old. So you have to go and do what you have to do as a parent, not naming not trying to put nobody on the bus. I'm just talking real life. You have to do what you need to do as a parent to make sure your child can read and go beyond whatever their school district is doing. Don't matter what school district they're in, go way beyond whatever that school district is, and make sure they can do whatever anybody else's children can do, way beyond. Yeah.
Because discipline, not only just to piggyback off of that, but the discipline wasn't not just the yelling and being mama pain.
No.
Running, yelling up and down and carrying on. Yeah. And the fasting and carrying on. No. But it consisted of the library.
Yeah.
We went to the park. We went to fly kites all the time. You remember that, Jay? We would go fly kites, and Daddy would be flying kites. He's not on here. Well, he is. He listening. But remember, he had one hand in the other, trying to hold his pants up. And he had the wrong belt up, and he tried to catch the kite. It was a mess. It was a whole mess. But it would be stuff like that. Or what would be the other thing? He would take us to see different history houses, tell us the history on the different houses, and just talk about the neighborhood and talk about how he grew up. And we didn't always just we didn't really sit in front of the TV. Now that I think about it.
No, we didn't. Our TV was black and white for one. It was black and white. The antenna never worked. We only got CBS and Fox.
Channel 11.
Oh yeah, we got channel 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we got that.
And the antenna had tape on it, and Daddy would be trying to hold up while we trying to watch the football game. Daddy had he'd be holding the antenna. He said, "Look, boy, look, you see that they gonna throw the ball." Then they'll go out, and he started yelling. He said, "Oh, this stupid TV."
I don't even think we got cable and knew what internet was until we were grown. Like, what was that? We had books, magazines, newspapers, crossword puzzles, crayons. We were addicted to literature. Anything that could be put in our hands, turn pages. That's what we did, right?
Right. Yeah.
We didn't get cable until my junior year in high school.
Yeah. And we thought we was like, ooh, we rich now.
I finally got video. I think I got my first real video game junior year.
Yeah.
And just being transparent, you guys know I'm just being transparent, not trying to put nobody under the bus or anything like that, but just being an educator. I took education very serious, and I still do today. And I still take today voting rights. I still take libraries. I still take children being able to read, things like that. I take it very serious in our communities, very serious, because even when I started teaching at the age of 19, different schools that I taught in, a lot of our schools did not have books. I had to go and buy the books for the children that I taught. So this is why I'm very transparent and serious about how you have to do what you need to do in order for you to do your homework, for the children to get extra support. That's all I'm trying to say. Make sure those kids get that extra support, that extra push that they need in order to climb the ladder of success. The ladder of success needs a lot of push. They need a lot of support from people in the community, people that love them, people that have the tools to help them push and climb that ladder. It takes a lot of people to produce successful people to help lead communities. Am I making any sense? Yeah. It takes a lot of people that have the eyes. You got to have eyes to see successful children, you know. And so it hurts when those children, it would hurt me so bad when I would go home from work and our children, and it doesn't matter what color they were, but the kids that I was teaching didn't have the tools to work with. They wouldn't have the tools that they needed to work with. And then I would have to go and spend my check and go to the thrift stores and try to stretch my check and make sure those kids had what they had. So just being transparent, This is what I'm trying to say, that I wanted you guys to be successful. I wanted you to have the tools that you needed. That you needed to have at home. So when you got to school, you were already prepared for that teacher. That teacher didn't have to spend all her time on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you always taught us, and this is, I don't know if you remember this too, brother, but she always wanted us to be able to fit into any population.
Yes.
Whatever population, whatever ethnic group, whatever background, whatever religious background, she wanted us to be able to be confident in that background.
Yes, very
to
much
be
so.
secure in that background,
right.
To hold our head up in that background, and to stand out in that background.
Yes.
And to not only that, but to be confident in, yes, I am this, I am that in that particular background. And so that's why we did not shy away from getting to know other cultures. We didn't shy away from getting to explore other foods. Our family, just so you guys know out there, we're huge on exploring other foods. Like that, we're notorious. My brother, he done took it to a whole nother level. God bless his heart and all his parts. He didn't went somewhere else. He in California, and when I go out there, I be like, hold on, wait a minute, wait, with boundaries. But I say that came from my mom and my dad. If we put you in any kind of environment, you will survive. You'll be able to adjust. You'll be able to adapt. Just like a chameleon, you'll be able to fit right in. And so, we didn't have that, oh my goodness, it's uncomfortable, but we learned early. That's why she would take us way up north. You know that? All those cultures and art fest and film fest and movie fest and book fest. We go way out somewhere. You know what I mean, brother?
Right.
That's where that started.
And it's funny too, because Dad and Mom were the same way. So like, and Dad, we're gonna get on you on the next episode. We'll have you on separate. But once I got to college, my dad was real huge on me not being closed-minded. My dad preached for me not to be closed-minded when I got to college.
Okay.
You're gonna treat Black people the same way you treat white people. You're gonna treat Indian people the same. You're not gonna just fit into one circle. You're gonna explore and be nice to everybody, and you're gonna be a human being. This is a civilization. Our parents preached that to us.
Yeah.
So when you guys see us with other cultures, that is because our parents ingrained that into us to be appreciative of everybody's background, not just cultures. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
There's certain things where I had hangups and you corrected me on those.
Yeah.
And as Christians, you have to teach your children not to have hangups just because someone's different than you.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't saved.
Right.
And so you can't just think that because you saved that you right all the time and then treat people like crap. You're not going to bring anybody to God that way.
That's
You're just
right.
That's
not.
right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
You know,
right.
and I think that was the biggest lesson that I learned from
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
was that having all that hate and being mean
Yeah.
to people and
Yeah.
not treating people the right way, you ain't gonna
Yeah.
win nobody. You're not gonna win anybody to God. You just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
You're just not.
Right.
So I
Right.
think that was also important too, and that's a part of discipline too.
Yeah. 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 Well, you guys really did very well. I think most of the correction, most of the discipline was done when you guys were younger. Because by the time you got to high school, I didn't have any hardly have any drama with you guys. Most of the
Yeah, because you was tired by then.
yeah, right. Yeah, I was getting up in age by that time. But you guys were by that time you were into your own little things that you enjoyed. You know, like Trigger, she was into her singing competitions.
Yeah, I was in everything.
She was all over Chicago into her singing choir competitions out of her high schools.
Yes.
And then she helped form the first gospel choir at her high school. So I was in
Shout out to Richards High School. Go Bulldogs!
So then I was in that with her, and then taking her on over her competitions with that. Then you were all in your sports and stuff.
Yeah,
And then you started your Bible class, and then you had your FFA, you had your agriculture farm stuff, and then you started your first gospel choir.
Yeah.
And then you was in a whole lot of stuff, and then you followed Papa everywhere. So you guys kept me all over the place. And then I was working at the schools, still working then. So you guys didn't give me any drama. So I appreciate that. Then we was all of us was tired by that time. So
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was also in multiple youth programs too.
Yeah.
Gospel church, Maranatha, the Maranatha youth program.
Right with your auntie. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was always gone. I really didn't have any time to really create any drama.
Yeah, and then in the summertime, you guys went to all the vacation Bible schools.
Oh Lord. Woo.
And then went to Ames with our grandparents.
Yeah, we went to the Ames. Yeah. And then when we got back, your daddy would take you to the other churches, conventions and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went to about maybe like 2 or 3 conventions a month.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, brother?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Those were fun too. Those were fun.
And we went to a lot of non-Kojic conventions.
Yeah.
We went to, you've seen everybody. It was the United Nations in there.
Yeah.
And those were the best. And those conventions were awesome because we didn't have to wear a church hat. I literally could wear my gym shoes, sweatshirt. It was just wonderful. It was wonderful. I didn't have to wear a Jesus pin. I didn't have to walk, and nobody knew who we were. Wasn't that great?
Yeah, it was.
But my brother, he was fussing at me earlier before we got on here. He was talking about, because he was very active in the youth and kids department. Yeah. And so he would always say, "Come on, Trika, come on, let's hang out." I'm like, no, I always wanted to hang around my mom and my dad.
It's grouchy and old. That's your problem. Old and grouchy.
I was trying to be closer to the Holy Ghost. Y'all young people weren't trying to get. I don't know what y'all was doing.
Now you didn't switch. Now you want to be young, and now I'm telling you, like, I'm going to bed. Now you want to be young.
I'll try to hold on to my youth as much as I possibly can. oh man. But yeah, we had a good, that was pretty much the basis of our life, but our parents kept us so busy on a budget.
and I think that's the thing too, where our mom, especially mom, was very in that. We're very creative in producing an experience for us, and we were still struggling.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how we did.
I don't know how we
I don't
did
know
that.
how we did that.
You
I
guys
don't
still
know.
provided an experience for us.
Yeah.
Even though my pants, my jeans would probably be ripping a little bit. Now you always made sure we had decent church clothes.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, we would put those on layaway. Well, you know, especially for Christmas and Easter, because we had the big Christmas programs and the big Easter program. So we would make sure that was put on layaway twice a year.
Shout out to layaway. Them layaways saved a lot of people's lives. I'm telling you.
Not to cut you off. Go ahead. Yeah.
But you guys were just awesome in providing the experience for us.
Okay.
Even though we were struggling, and we kind of knew that we were, or I didn't know that we were struggling until we moved to Memphis.
Okay. Oh, Memphis.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that we were struggling until we moved to Memphis.
I knew we were struggling when we went to Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Memphis.
Even with that, and I gotta tell this story. So people realize that your mentality, you taught us to be tough.
Yeah.
You taught us to be tough. And
Yeah.
you move on, whatever the situation is, you keep moving.
Yeah, I didn't want to baby y'all. I didn't want to baby you. Yeah.
So when I think my dad was here working.
Yeah, he came back to Chicago. Yeah.
He came back
to do
Chicago.
taxes. Yeah.
And then by this time, me and Trika were like best friends.
Okay.
And Trika, I think you were back in Chicago or you were in Oklahoma, one or two.
Where? In Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis. I'm not sure if you were back in Chicago yet or you were in Oklahoma.
I think she came back to Chicago to help one of the deacons' wives was sick. And you had to.
Oh, yeah, I was in Chicago.
Got you.
She came back to AFC to help one of the parishioners' wives.
Got it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I was kind of going withdrawal because first of all, I don't have my sister around.
Yeah.
And then my, dad was back home. So it's just me and Mom, and we were going through.
Yes, Lord.
And
yeah.
So we came outside and we needed to go get groceries. No, we needed to go to school. I needed to go to school. And my mom worked at my school.
Yeah.
And so we came outside, and it's kind of funny now when you think about it. So we come outside, our car is gone.
Yeah.
It got repossessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I looked at it and I was about to start crying. She said, "Nuh-uh."
We can laugh about it now, Jay.
Yeah, we can laugh about it now. She said, She said, "We ain't gonna cry about that car. That's material. Let's go ahead and walk up to school." And what was that? That was a long, 3 miles?
Ooh, Jay. Them country miles is different from Chicago. They're different from walking from 115 to Houston, honey.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't even shed a tear. We just kept moving.
Yeah.
And then when we came back and said, "Well, we gotta walk to Kmart."
Yeah.
And now we walking on heels.
Yeah.
And I'm carrying on slopes, and I'm walking with groceries.
Yeah.
And she said, "Don't you even?" She said, "I ain't crying. You ain't crying." It was always that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you instilled that into us, because as an adult, life can get hard sometimes. You got to keep moving. You can't sit there and dwell on things. You got to keep moving. You got to keep fighting. You can't just, "Hey, I lost my arm. All right, cool. Well, put a bandage on it. Let's keep moving."
See, that's why I believe, and I seen this, I don't know if it was a meme or something, where it said you could have all the bones in your body be broke. Mama said you still going to school. That was our mama.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about you. Oh, you broke, all your bones is broke, you going to school. You got 110 fever, you still going to school. I mean, the mentality of what she was trying to teach us was relentlessness. And that's why my brother and we're like, "Oh, okay, for real? Oh, okay." So petty stuff such as you don't like me, or you're not talking to me, or really? Do I really care? Child, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a bigger picture here. There's a job that must be done. We've been through worse than that. Nobody sees the end result. See, everybody sees this part, right? They see the production part where God has blessed and provided, but nobody knows the years that you had to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the part that the years where I was homeless, where my stuff was thrown out. I was living in a shelter. Y'all don't see that part. Sick, in and out of the hospital. No money, had to file bankruptcy. I had to sleep on the floor. Didn't have anything, nothing. See, that's the process. And a lot of people are not willing to go through to get to. They like to see this, but they don't want to see that dirty stuff. They don't want to see the part where you got to go on your knees and blisters and your broken bones and the nights you have to cry. The nights you don't know how your bill's going to get paid. The nights you don't know if you're going to get put out of your place. You're going to get evicted. The nights you sleeping in your car. Come on, somebody. Nobody sees that part. But then they want to hate because you are where you are. Now you can write a check for $1,000 to bless somebody. Or now you can feed somebody. Now the process. We're missing the process. And our generation is so quick. They want to get to this, but they don't want to go through the other stuff that is not on camera. The stuff that you cannot see. The years and the years and the years and the years. We don't talk about it, but we're talking about it now. See, we had to have a process maker. Our parents were the process maker. They instilled in us the things that we needed, the things that we had to have, the things that provided us with the strength and the grit to be able to withhold when we didn't have anything, when we didn't know where our next bill was going to get paid. So now that we are able to stand strong and stand firm, that is the product of the process, the years of the process, the product has been made. The molding, the making, the rejection, the hurt, the crying, the disappointment, the awkwardness, when people don't want to invite you to places, when people they talk about you, they leave you to the side, or whatever it is, all the negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now we can stand firm in what we know. So, okay, so what? Who cares? We know what God is. The evidence of the process, the product, this is where we are. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I'm sorry, it just came out.
That's okay.
But
No, that's fun.
Nobody knows that. You know what I mean? They don't want to go through that stuff. You know, they don't want to go through that.
And you have to realize that a process is not. It took us a while.
Yeah.
It took us a while. Everybody's process is not the same.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Your process might be sooner, and it might be later.
Right.
But everybody's process is not the same.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to put. You can't. I think sometimes and I think this is another blessing from being in the house with you guys, that we realize that God is not a genie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
God is just, you're just not going to pray. And
He's not Santa Claus.
God is not Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You have to give up something to get something. Period.
Yes.
What are you willing to give up?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If you want a healing, then you might want to put down that cheesecake. If your body's inflicted.
Yeah.
And
That's
if you want to get out of a financial hole, then maybe you need to sell your TV and sell your car and get your credit back up.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
God is not a genie.
Yeah.
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 And another thing too, brother, I want to point out that everybody's script and itinerary is not the same.
No.
It's not the same. Your schedule in life is not the same as mine. You know what I mean? God might say, I need you to go left, but I want you to stay on this street for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna have to make a right real quick. And he might say, no, he might change it. Okay, only 7 minutes. And what we have done as a society is, if Susie is on the street for 15 minutes, then we feel like, well, why I'm not on the street for 15 minutes? It's comparison. Comparison is a killer of everybody.
Yeah.
And you have to be to the point. You know how the horses, they have the blinders on. You know, I'm a horse fanatic. I love horses. And they have the blinders on. And so they have a rhythm when they get off. Some hold back, some start right away. Some they get in a stride, and some they just never get it. But then some, they wait to the last 5 minutes of the race. And then all of a sudden, they kill the race. All different. All different. The whole point is, how are you when you're in that blinder? When you're in that blinder, what is going on in that blinder? What do you see in front of you? Are you comparing yourself? Oh man, why am I not doing this? And I'm speaking to myself because I've been having this problem. I'm just being transparent. Well, why is this not happening? Why did God said, I called you for such a time as this. I've created you. You're on my timeline. Not Susie Q, not Cabbage Patch, and not Miss Bing Bag. No, they doing what they doing. And quite frankly, we don't know how she got what she got. Who's to say she's in me? We don't know what she doing.
Right.
We don't know what she flipping and tossing and twisting and turning and dropping it like it's hot. I can't do all that. My joints can't withstand all of that.
You gotta get the knees working.
Get my knees all down.
So Mom, so we got about 20 minutes. I want you to kind of talk on, and then we'll joke around with Dad about some of the other stuff that we went through as kids, because that's a lot. Okay. That's a lot.
That's a book.
That's a book. But I want you to kind of talk about when how your approach was and how you communicated with Dad when Trika went away and then came back and was dealing with her.
Which went away? You know, I went away a lot. Which went away you referring to?
When you came back from Wisconsin.
After the divorce?
Yes, after the divorce.
Okay.
And pushing Trika to get to her level, and what that was like as a preacher first, dealing with how to get and then as a parent. And then after that, maybe talk about a little bit how your focus was on how you and Dad approached me while I was in college, and what y'all's thought process was when I was in college, and what you, So we'll start with Trika first.
Okay. It was quite challenging when Trika came back from her divorce. Trika I had never seen her like that. Trika's mind was gone. You know, Trika's always been kind of jolly.
Yeah.
Trika was extremely sad. I think I said this in another video. I noticed I couldn't get Trika out of the bed. And you know, Trika was extremely overweight then. I couldn't get Trika to wash up. I couldn't get her to comb her hair. And then after about a week or two, I said, I got to get her out of here. I got to get her some help. And so then I had heard about this crisis center that was free. And I told Trika about it. I said, I'm getting you out of here, and I'm taking you to this crisis center. You got to get some help. And she just broke down and started crying. And so that's all really she did. And she really didn't eat. She didn't do anything. And so I just took her to the crisis center, and she would just holler and scream, and I had never seen Trika like that. And that was very difficult for me and your daddy to see her like that. We cried a lot. Just to see her like that, it was just very heartbreaking to see her. It was challenging for your dad. I mean, I had to keep him from going.
He wanted to sit up.
Yeah.
Look at my brother.
Yeah, I had to.
Papa don't take no rest.
You know, your dad, he kind of out there sometimes.
Yeah.
Your dad out there. He kind of.
He Baptist. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he Baptist.
And you know, and he still got them gang banging friends, and so you know.
And he got the gang banging tendencies.
He got the gang banging tendencies, and thank God for Jesus for saving his life. So. And still now it'll flare up, but that was rough for me. And so I was I was like the sandwich in between the two of them. And then Trika was sick.
Yeah, she was sick.
That was another thing. I was back and forth from Northwestern Hospital every week, taking her, you know, and the bus would bring her. They would. I made arrangements where the bus could pick her up and bring her home a lot because it was wearing me out. I was starting to get sick because I was trying to take care of her, and then you know, Dad was dealing with the diabetes real bad too, and then he was angry. So it was just, man, it was. And it was a lot as being a minister because I was fighting. My temper was flaring up because I was like, okay, do I need to go find this dude? Because I know where he live. I know where his mom live. So I'm just gonna say that much. Let me shut up because I start flaring up too. But since you said say how it was as a preacher, it was difficult. I'm gonna be honest, because you don't want nobody mess with your kids. You don't want anybody mess with your kids. Is that what you asked me? That's what you asked me, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna answer the question. So then that was real difficult. And yeah. So, but God helped us through all that, Jay. He helped us through all of that. Then I was having trouble with my job. Your dad was having trouble with his job. Trika wasn't able to work. So, you know, the income was low. So we was going through all of that, you know, then trying to help my parents at their church. That was another situation. We ain't gonna go through that one. So they, you know, all of that just piling up on you. You're trying to do the work of the Lord and do what he tell you to do. It was challenging, Jay. That was, and then that ain't being in Memphis. That's in Chicago. That you around your family. That's in Chicago. That. You got the support, but it was just the enemy was just kicking his heels up, and so you're trying to, and that's why I say all the time, you need your family when you're in ministry. You need the support of your family because there's a lot of things that go on that the enemy would try to come in the middle of that bubble and try to destroy try to kill you, try to take you out.
Because you and Dad were doing revivals almost every week during that time frame. Almost.
Yeah, we were, and the enemy was mad about that. See, he was angry. And so, what was the other thing you said? It was something about you.
But also, that was around the same time that I was in college. Well.
Now your dad was kicking up his heels about that because he would be having dreams about what's going on with you. While you were away with college, I think when you first left, that was my most the hardest time I had when you first left. I think I cried for about 3 weeks, and then after that I was okay. Lord let me know, stop crying, he's gonna be okay. Stop crying, he'll be okay. After that I was okay. Then after that, looked like your daddy kicked in. He just his blood sugar was everywhere. He was just everywhere. Everywhere. That diabetes just was not under control at all. So it was always something, Jake. Always something. I need to drive down there. That boy doing so and so. I said, okay, well, go ahead, because I'm not driving down there. We should go get let's go ahead. I'm say I got Trigger's at home. She's ill. I got to stay here with her. But it was always, yeah, the Lord was always showing you. He always had you on blast with your dad with that one. So that was challenging. That so you and your dad have to really channel in on that one. But on my end, I kind of drifted off about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, I was okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I just kind of tried to stay close to the Lord to keep my nerves. Because I didn't like you being down there. I didn't like you being down there because it was just too much. You know, we're not gonna go into that, but it was a little bit too much being down in that area that I didn't like. So yeah, but you, and see, that's why I thank the Lord I was able to train you to be strong-minded, and you were able to channel. You were able to your teaching along with your dad kind of kicked in. It kind of kicked in, so you know what road to kind of stay in on, you know, and be aware. You gotta be aware when you by yourself.
Right.
You gotta be aware and know that everybody ain't your friend. That just because they walking with you, that don't mean that they your friend. You gotta pay attention to what's, you know, going on around you. So
right.
Yeah.
So most people think that you know, during that time I came back, that everything was good. You know, everything was, for me and my sister, was good, but it was not. Most people don't realize I was sleeping on the floor for what, 4 or 5 years.
After you graduated?
After I graduated.
Yeah.
And we worked as a family to help each other.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about faith real quick, Mom. We're gonna kind of veer off a little bit.
Okay.
From when you and Dad were talking, seeing how me and Trika were. Now my sister has her master's. You're seeing that we're getting educated and we're going through our process, but we're still struggling. As parents, how did that make you feel? Then as ministers, because you were always encouraging us, but as parents and as ministers, how were you guys feeling during that time frame, seeing us still work and thinking that we kind of had got there, but we didn't? We wasn't there yet.
That hurts. It hurts because it's kind of like seeing your child. You know how you see toddlers when they're trying to walk and you keep picking the toddler up, and after a while you like, I'm not gonna keep picking him up. He'll get up on his own. Because if you keep picking him up, he's not gonna know how to get up by himself. You have to stand back and let the toddler get up on their own. And then after a while, they start holding on to the stove, or they hold on to the refrigerator, and then they start walking on their own. So that it does hurt to see your child try to walk on their own. And that's how I had to learn, how my brother had to learn. My parents let us walk. We had to learn how to walk on our own, and it made us strong. As you can see, me and Kurt are very strong. We're very strong adults today. And as you and Trika, you're very extremely strong. Your personalities are extremely strong. You're not scared of anything. You're not scared of anything. I mean, you way out there, Fortune 500 company. Trika's over here, you know, on the internet, and she's done a lot of things, got her master's, and held up against a lot of stuff on her own. Went to Wisconsin, went to Oklahoma by herself, Tennessee at 17 years old, and so faced a lot of challenges on her own. So yeah, it was hard, but all we could do is pray for you and support you in prayer, and throw those angels out there. No, I mean, those angels took care of you guys, you know. So a lot of times you can't always run, oh, I gotta help on that. You can't always do that. You have to keep your eyes and ears open to when it's okay for the Lord to say, okay, you can do this now, but next time leave them alone. They'll be okay. Let them stand up on their own. So yeah, it hurt. It hurts. Yeah, but you guys made it.
Yeah.
It made you strong. It made you strong. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. It made you strong where you can help society. Not just one person, but you can help society. And this is what, and I said this earlier, this is what we need today. We don't need punk people.
Cowards.
We don't need that. We need strong congressmen. We need strong teachers. We need strong political people. We need strong doctors. We need strong nurses. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
We need strong managers. We need strong social workers that can help society, not just one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
I know
need
exactly what you
strong
mean, Mom.
pastors that not just can help just Church of God in Christ, strong preachers that can help society, everybody, you know? And you have to be strong to help everybody. You got to be a strong person. So that's what I, yeah.
You remember what we used to say? It'd be something simple. You'd be making something and you'd be saying, "Ooh, Jane, it's too heavy.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I can't."
Oh,
Boy, pick up that bag. I ain't raised no pump. You gonna pick that bag up. You gonna be strong in the Lord. It'd be something like a book. It'd be so. I'd be like, really, James?
Yeah, it was always, every time we get it, I know what it was. We be trying to catch the train to go down to the convocation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would have him try to help us carry bags. And we were trying to catch the train at Homewood.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's too heavy. It's too heavy. I go pick that bag up. We got to catch this train. No, it's too heavy, Mommy. Or we try to rush and get on the plane at the airport. It's too heavy. I can't do it. It's too heavy. That was so funny.
And more than likely, the way y'all packed it was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's very true.
But no, most of the time it'd be your own bag.
But what's so fascinating, brother, and you know me, I'm a mushy person. But what's so fascinating about you is that most people don't realize that you were a preemie.
Yeah.
And that you were in special needs school, and that you could not walk,
Yeah.
and that you had speech problems, and that you couldn't lift your head, and you couldn't do the basic things, and that you couldn't do this. But just think about if you did not have a strong mom and strong parents to instill a strong child, to instill a strong disposition. And mine was, my personality was not strong. I didn't talk. I was afraid of people. I was very shy. I didn't like to do, just leave me alone. Okay.
Now we can't get you to stop talking.
That is very true. But I like talking. How about that? But I will tell you this now. I will, and my family know, when I stop talking, I've stopped talking.
That's it.
That's it. You can press the button. We can have flashlights and everything. That button is off. It's a wrap. But I'm just saying, there was certain, that had to be hard because you and Dad had to pinpoint what we needed to work on.
Yeah.
Jay's, and his personality was strong.
Yeah.
But it was a physical.
Yeah.
Mine was the internal thing.
That's true. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
The physical was strong, but it was okay. We got to build you up. You got to be able to open up your mouth.
That's true.
You got to be able to do this and da 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 da. And you got to be able to have confidence and all this other kind of stuff. Oh, it was just so dramatic.
Yeah.
Woo.
That's so true. You're right about that. Yeah.
That's what you guys had. That's a lot of work. No wonder you tagged.
That's true. You're right. Yeah. Because see, you took the dance and the tap for years.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to the restaurant, helping him,
I did not like people.
You be running and lock yourself in the bathroom, and he's like, "Where's she at?" you know, you didn't like to help with the people at the restaurant. You didn't like to help at the kitchen. You know how we have you at the church trying to help people, even at the church when you was little. And you didn't like helping at the church in the kitchen back there. Granny said, "What's wrong with her?" She don't like to pass out the cake. When she gone, where is she at?
I didn't like the people. I didn't like the people. I was extremely afraid of people. For whatever reason, I had a phobia of people. Now, whatever.
Yeah, so you guys were just the opposite. Yeah.
Sandy said, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's true, Sandy. I'm not making that up. Yeah. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that me and her are different now. I don't really like being around people like that. Me and Trick.
Okay.
No, not really. Not really. I like to be by myself.
Really?
Yeah, I like
it
to be
don't
by
seem like it.
Yeah.
It don't seem like it, Jay.
I know.
Okay. No,
you
it don't seem like it.
I think for my brother, he has his set of people.
Okay.
And that same set of people, that's it.
Okay.
He don't deviate.
Well, Trick is like that too now.
Yeah. But see, this is the thing. I like people, but I don't have people in my house.
No, she don't.
Different now. I do.
I don't have people in my house. You got to go through the Social Security. You got to go through the FBI, CDC. You got to go through.
You got to go through the
social worker.
You got to check you in, check you out.
I don't have people in my house.
See, I had a United Kingdom at my house.
Yeah, no. See, no.
Well, not during COVID, you know, Mom, not during COVID.
But see, my reasoning before that, my reason for that is because of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Now, when it's time to have people, even before, I ain't never really had people in my house.
That's not our personality.
That's just not my personality. I have my family. Yeah. I have maybe about 2.5 friends.
We'll go out and meet you.
I'll go out. We'll go to the restaurants. We'll go, you know, whatever. But as far as that, no, you can't come in here.
Yeah, she'll go out and meet people.
You know, and I'm slightly germaphobe, Lysol, and all of these other kind of things. I don't know what you carrying. So. So how be ever?
I think that's just a woman thing.
It is.
Different.
Well, it's 8:01. I think
okay.
we talked that long. We did pretty good.
Okay.
How would be ever? Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. We're gonna do part 2 or part 3. We got to bring my dad on.
Yeah.
We're
gonna can't wait. Can't wait.
Listen, the people don't understand. My dad has terrorized my brother and I, and we couldn't say nothing. But vengeance is mine, said me and Jay. And I can't wait. Okay. But anyway, thank you so much, all of you, for hanging out with us for this hour and 2 minutes. If you get a chance, please like and share this video. I have been able to have Restream connected, so you're able to view this actually on YouTube. Yay, I'm getting smarter. Yay, tech savvy. So you can also watch this, go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and not only that, go to iamtricab.com and subscribe to my mailing list. You'll get an opportunity to know what's going on. Not only that, but who's going to be on the show. So tomorrow night, woo, I get to see my brother again. Yay! The PKs are going to be in the house tomorrow night. Woo! And we have a special guest, the ever so fab, Miss Mallory Macklin. She will be joining us with Sequita Crawley and Anthony McGahee and my brother, and I can't wait to see them. I miss them. It feels like it's been like 9 weeks since I've seen them. We're gonna be hanging out tomorrow. So tune in right here on Facebook and my YouTube channel at 7 o'clock. We're going to have a good time. I hope you're blessed and I hope you enjoy this fabulous evening. If you are in Chicago, please be careful out there. Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you, brother.
Let me know what you guys think. Until we meet again, have a fabulous evening.